Tagazani, good morning. Dumelang. It's GGI Meetings with Gogo Noma. My name is Noma, and this is Learning with Noma, your online comprehensive classroom where we're changing our lives one lesson at a time. Wow, this morning, it's all about GGI meetings. I never get messages that are to be shared when I do my GGI mornings because they've always been private and, between me and Dlozi. But somehow this morning I need to come and share a message. There's someone out there who maybe needs to hear this. I've been going back and forth, but yes, they have given a message that needs to be shared, and that's exactly what I'm going to do today. So GGI Mornings, remember, greetings, gratitude, and we invite with intention. I've always said Christian background. I'm a spiritualist growing, and that means that I've learned religion is a box and I cannot box myself in it. And we will talk about that in another topic on another day. But the reason why I came today is because with my GGI mornings, like I say, guys, we are phahla. You communicate with your ancestors, you pray, you communicate with divinity. And what works for you, or whatever religion, or however you identify divinity, the creator, Lesedi, I'm not judging. So today, as I do my GGI mornings, as I greet, as I give gratitude, as I invite with intention, I also meditate to hear what Spirit has to say to me. And the verse for today I'm going to read, it says, it's the first verse for the morning was Philippians 4, verse 6, by Philippi 4, verse 6. Le seke la belaela letho, empa nthong tsohle seo le se batlang, le ke le tsebise Modimo ka thapelo le ka kopo e nang le teboho. Do not worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. And with the second verse, it is Matthew 6, verse 27. Mme ke mang ho lona ya ka eketsang boemo ba hae ka setso se le seng ka ho belaela teng. Who of you by worrying can add a single hour to their day or life? And as I'm reading, it's like a reminder to say, why worry? Give it to Dlozi, let it go, let God. Once you wake up and you start with your greetings, you start with gratitude, and you start inviting with intention, it's exactly that. You are going to, with your gratitude and inviting with intention, it means you are laying down to your ancestors as uphahla hore na o tshwenywa ke eng. You are laying it down to God as you pray to say, this is what worries me. But you're not going to hold on to the worry, because by saying it in their presence, you are giving it to them and you are letting it go. And that is what I've learned today as I read these two verses, Philippians 4, verse 6, that says, do not worry about anything, instead pray about everything. Matthew 6:27, that says, who of you by worrying can add a single hour to their day or their life? As children, and I've got a 3-year-old niece who every time I look at him reminds me of what it is to be a child and how wonderful and trusting it is to be a child. In psychiatric nursing, we talk about chronological age and mental age. Chronological age being the age in numbers that you're in, you are 30 years. And when we talk about your mental age, you're still acting like a 5-year-old with our mentally retarded patients. But with me, psychology or psychiatry has always been interesting, because I've always asked, are they the ones mentally retarded, or are we just the ones who are not understanding that sometimes we need to stay in that place? There are certain things in life that requires of us to stay in that space of being children. So today, I'm reminded that as a child, you would walk into the room and say, Mama ke lapile. And you would go back to play, because you know she's going to call you and say, just how do you ready? And with my niece, what happens is he will come in and say, I'm hungry. When he was starting to talk, and he would go and watch his cartoons, do whatever that he was doing, play with his cars, whatever that he was doing. After a few minutes, he'll come back to see if you're preparing the food for him. And if he sees you're still busy preparing, he will just go back to play and come back. And when you call him, he comes jolly happy, because he knows my food is being prepared. And now that he's growing older, he doesn't just come to say, ke lapile. He specifically comes to say, ke kopa di noodles, ke kopa mahe. He becomes very specific about the desires of his heart, or what his appetite is craving for at that time. GGI meetings. Go and invite with intention. Because as we grow older, you start to understand that you need to be very specific about the things that you need, about the things that you desire, about the things that you require in your life. So as you wake up in the morning, as you pray, invite with intention. Intentions mean that you are not going to say, but you're going to be specific about what amount you need and what you're going to do with it, and how are you planning to achieve that money, so that you are supported in the plan. I just wanted to come to say, don't worry about it. We worry too much. We carry worry, and worry is unnatural. Morning, my sister. Worrying is unnatural. When you read Matthew 6 and you continue with it, verse 27 down to 30, 31, why do we worry when flowers don't even worry? God takes care of them. They are there for us for just a season, but they're taken care of. Some of them, they are there, the lilies of the field. They are there for a few hours. Why are you worrying when birds don't worry about where they will get their next meal? God takes care of them. So nature does not worry. Difate hadina worry when it's winter and they are shedding off their leaves. They know that is part of growth. Why do we worry? Snakes understand that in order to grow, in order to move on to the next level of my being, I need to shed off the old skin. Why do we worry? Nature does not worry. Worrying is unnatural. Worrying is destructive. Worrying is taking on, things that are not meant for you. As a child, a new book, teacher on Wednesday. You did not worry. You told your mom, you told your parents, and you knew that it would be provided for. Why do we start worrying? And as I go down with Matthew 6, verse 27, verse 37, sorry. Hey, okay. Spirit now. Calm down. Matthew 6, verse 34. So don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today's trouble is enough for today. And there's a quote that I love so much, and some of the things you gather them through the years and they make sense in a day like this, in a moment like this, when Spirit comes and reminds you not to worry. There's a quote I love about that is from Robert Jones. There are 2 days in every week you shouldn't worry about: yesterday and tomorrow. You can't change what happened yesterday, and you can't control what will happen tomorrow. I love that quote. In every week, you should not worry about yesterday or tomorrow. What you can do is learn from yesterday. What you can do is plan for tomorrow. Because we all know failure to plan is planning to fail. Failure to plan is you saying, let whatever happen into my life, whatever that wants to happen, let it happen. When you plan, you write it down. Habakkuk 2 verse 2 says, write it down in the tablets, write it clearly so that whoever reads it can run with it. Learn to keep a journal where you write things down, because once you've written it down and once you've laid it down to your ancestors, once you've laid it down to God in your prayer, you are never going to repeat it in a negative way. The only thing you're going to do is claim that is already yours and wait for the time to pass for it to be, because whatever that is written down will come to pass. In the New Testament, Jesus said, I have to go through all these things because it was written, because it was prophesied. Everything that is happening in the New Testament, it's what was being prophesied by the prophets in the Old Testament. So you write it down so that it can come to pass. It shall come to pass. Write it clearly. Be specific. Make it clear so that he who reads it can run with it. It's a plan. If you need to write it step 1, step 2, step 3, so be it. Write step 1, step 2, step 3 and see if you're not going to see change in your life. And see if the invitation that you do every morning, plan your day. Successful people have diaries. People keep diaries. There are people who are already having plans for the whole of 2020. They tell you my diary is closed because they've already planned and they know what's going to happen. A diary that some are already saying, Ish, I've got plans until I'm fully booked, or I'm fully booked until the middle of 2021. What about you? What does your diary say about today? Every morning we wake up and we are given 24 hours, maybe less because you sleep about 6 hours of the day before you wake up. But we basically have 12 plus hours in a day to do something about our lives. What are you doing with those 12 hours? What have you planned? What is in your diary for today? Are you saying life is going to happen? I'll see it as it happens. The fact that you're waking up going to work, you know that your diary from 7 to 5, it's work. What happens between 5 and 10 before you go to bed? What is in your plan? What is in your diary? What kind of self-development are you doing? What kind of, self-activity that's going to make you grow, that's going to help you become a better person? What are you doing for yourself? What are you worrying about? What are you going to do to help you let go of the worries that you're holding on to? It was just the message that I got today from Abantu Abadala, Lesedi, the Creator, Divinity. As I pray, as I greet them in the morning, as I gave gratitude, as I invited with intention. And like I say, it's very rare. I've got my book where I write everything in terms of my GGI Mornings. It's my journal. And the messages that I receive in this journal are personal, they are mine. But this morning, they just needed me to share. Why worry? Let it go and let God. Do not worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Because who of you can say that by worrying they have added an hour to their life or to their day? Robert Jones Burnett says, in every week, there are 2 days that you should not worry about. Tomorrow and yesterday. Yesterday, you cannot change what happened. Tomorrow, you cannot control what will happen. The best thing you can do for your life is learn from yesterday. Is plan for tomorrow, and in your planning, write it down, make it clear so that he who reads it can run with it. Check your diary for today. Check what you're expecting to happen in your life today. And it does not have to be a meeting with anyone. No. Today, if you are expecting to have 20 minutes of meditation for the first time in your life, or, put it in your diary. Do it. 5 minutes of meditation. 5 minutes where you're just going to not be negative about anything, but be thankful and show gratitude and be positive. Have 5 minutes of inviting positive energy in your space. Let it be. This is GGI Mornings with Gogo Noma. Greetings, and in greetings, introducing yourself. Gratitude, giving thanks. Invite with intention. My name is Noma. This is Learning with Noma, and we are changing our lives one lesson at a time. Spirit teaches me every day. I'm a student. I'm a work in progress. The spiritual awakening will never end, because every day they are revealing layers and layers that I was not even aware of. I hope that this message reaches out to the individual that it was meant for, or the people that it was meant for. And I hope that in this message you find strength to get into this day, and not just today, but the days even after today, your future. And I hope you understand. Worry about nothing. Instead, pray about everything. Lesedi.